I'm Jeff Paur, senior writer with RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I am going to be joined by Logan Glaser of RealTime Fantasy Sports, and we're going to go over a playoff preview for this year. We're going to talk about all the games we offer here at RealTime Fantasy Sports, how you can get involved. We're going to give our strategies for the games as well. Also talk about our commissioner products. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a jam-packed show getting you ready for the playoffs. So Logan, thanks so much for joining me. As always, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jeff. Yeah, like you said, there's so much strategy involved with these playoff contests. You have to worry about the team themselves as well with the player. Just like season long, you're looking at just the player and their stats. This, you have to look at their team that they're currently on, because more games equal more points for the player.
It's definitely a different animal. It's a lot of fun. If you've never gotten involved with a playoff league, I highly suggest it. We have different options as well. It's a different game, and it's gotten very popular on our site as well. It's just a lot of fun. Don't you
For
agree?
sure, yeah. Drafts going off all around the clock, and we got 3 different types of playoff leagues. So let's go ahead and talk about those. So the first one is the postseason shootout. So with the postseason shootout, we have 2,000 teams available to join that. It's 125 per team, with first place winning $50,000, a huge grand prize. Top 150 will be cashing out as well, with winning at least $250. And the strategy with that is you pick at least 2 players per NFL team. That's the max you can pick per NFL team. You have 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex spots, a kicker, and a defense.
Yep. It's definitely limited, just a 10-man roster. So it's really small. There's different strategies. For me, I'll talk about how I'm going to approach it, and you can talk about it as well, Logan. But I'm going to load up on the players I think that are going to make the championships in each division, each conference. So I'm going to take 2 players who I think is going to make it in the NFC championship from their teams, from each team. So for me, I think it's going to be the 49ers and Eagles. So I'm going to take 2 Eagles, 2 49ers. And then on the AFC side, I have the Bills and Chiefs in the AFC championship. So I'm going to make sure I take 2 players from those teams as well. And then round out the rest of my roster with players that I think could play at least a couple games and post some big numbers as well. How are you kind of approaching it?
Yeah, I'm kind of approaching it the exact same way. You also have to keep in mind that the Eagles and Chiefs are on a bye that first week. So it's definitely something to consider into that factor. But yeah, definitely, I think 2 teams I'm definitely going to be loading up for sure is going to be the 49ers and Bills players, just for the fact that they have that first round. They got a game that first round, and they can also compete to win their conference championship.
Yeah, it's a little different this year because there's not 2 teams on a bye, which has been in the past. But obviously, a lot of people think, like you and I, 49ers and Bills have a good chance to advance very far, and they get that extra gain too. So it's kind of a big deal, in my opinion. You got to take chances as well, though, in my view. And when you get in a contest like this, and take some people that maybe not everybody are on, if you want to advance far as well. So I think that's something that you need to keep in mind too. We each made a lineup, so I think that's kind of cool, and we're going to show everybody our lineups for these contests. So why don't you go ahead and talk about yours first, and I'll show everybody that as well.
Yeah, it is. So my lineup at QBs, I'm going with Brock Purdy and Josh Allen. Running backs, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler. Wide receivers, I'm going with Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson. Flex spots, I'm going with A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase. Kicker, I'm going with Brett Maher. And defense, I'm going with the Cowboys. So my strategy in this, I maxed out on 49ers with 2 players. I got Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, getting that QB points early. And then Bills, I've got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. So I've got a lot of players playing in that first round. The only player I currently have on a bye that first round is A.J. Brown. I personally think the 49ers are going to win the NFC, and I'm kind of banking on that with this team, because the Eagles would be maxed out with 2 games if they lose in the conference championship to the 49ers. So I went ahead and took other players instead of them. I also don't have any Chiefs players, which is a little bit surprising. So I'm banking on the Bills, 49ers, and the championship game, which both of those teams would be getting 4 games total. I think that's where I'm taking some risk. And I also think Brock Purdy is going to be pretty low owned. I think a lot of people are going to be going with Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a surprise with Brock Purdy there. And I really like getting 4 games out of a quarterback if they can get to that Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, definitely. Ours are kind of similar, but you were a little more bold than I was. And I do, like I said earlier, I think you got to take chances if you want to win a contest like this. So I'm totally good with that strategy. For me, I have Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts as my QBs, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler as my running backs, Stephon Diggs, Devonta Smith, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce as my receiver, tight end options. So I went with I didn't go running back for my flex options. I went receiver and tight end, and then Harrison Butker and San Francisco for the defense. So we didn't mention this as well, but there's no tight ends in this format. So tight ends lumped in with the receiver. So it kind of, impacts the value of Kelce a little bit, but still he's like an elite receiver. So I went with Allen and Hurts as my QBs. I think those two have a good chance to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. So that's why I went there. Christian McCaffrey as well. I think he'll get far as well, at least make it to the NFC Championship game. So I like his production there. And Austin Eckler took a little bit of a chance there. I think the Chargers have a chance to win at least one game and then make it to the next round. So you're getting 2 games from him.
Yeah, all you're looking for is 2 games out of that. That's perfectly fine.
And if you're getting 30 points a game from him in those 2 games, he'll score 60 points. That might be more than a guy that plays 4 games. If you take running back, Jerick McKinnon's kind of a guy a lot of people are high on, but Devin Singletary too. I mean, they may get 40, 50 points. And if Eckler gets 60 in 2 games, then what's the difference, right? You're getting more points there. So that's the way I looked at it there.
For sure.
Same thing with Justin Jefferson. I took him. I think they're going to win that opening round game. I know a lot of people think Giants could upset them there, but still, Jefferson gets me 30 points in each of the 2 games he plays. He gets me 60 points. I'm thinking that's good production. And I went a little bit different than you with. I went Devonta Smith. I like the way he's been playing lately, and he's been getting more looks in that offense. So that's where I'm trying to differentiate a little bit there.
For sure.
And I love Travis Kelce as well. So in that Chiefs offense, and I think they can make it to the AFC Championship game. So that's my lineup. And again, you can do all sorts of different things here. Just a great contest. I highly suggest you get in it. Chance to win a lot of money, and it's limited the number of teams that can get in. We sell out this every year, right, Logan?
Yes, yeah, we've sold out the past couple of years. With there's 2,000 entries in it. We've already sold about 800. We're about 40% sold out so far. Just opened up a couple days ago. Contest will be finalized Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time when that first kickoff is happening, or whenever the contest fills up, which in the past it's usually filled up Saturday morning. So make sure to get those entries in before then. And
definitely. So let's move on and talk about our next game we offer, and that's our overtime league. So this is more like a standard draft where you actually draft your team, 8 total starters, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers / tight ends, 1 flex, 1 defense, special teams, and a kicker. And the roster size is 14. And you can pick from any teams in this one. So you can load up on all, if you can, right? You can load up on any of these. You could take 8 Buffalo Bills if you so feel that's the way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Basically what we've been seeing so far throughout this first round is QB heavy going in that first round. We're averaging about 4 or 5 quarterbacks in that first round, along with Christian McCaffrey. Personally, I think I would still go Josh Allen number 1 overall, but then it's looking like Christian McCaffrey's been going number 2 in most of our drafts, followed by Patrick Mahomes. The advantages about this league is that there is a bench. So if you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, you can stash him on the bench, get a quarterback such as like Trevor Lawrence or Daniel Jones in that first round, put him in there, and then you got Mahomes coming right back in that second round.
Yep, I definitely think that's a strategy there. It's a little different, but I'm going to show everybody the average draft position as well so they can see where people have been going. I have the number 1 pick tonight in the CTW, Colton and the Wolfman. We do a draft every year for the playoffs. I got the number 1 pick. I think it's a tough decision, but I'm probably going to go Josh Allen for the reasons you mentioned. He gets to play this week. I think he'll make the championship game as well. So he'll at least play as many games as Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. But it's a close call, though. I think I'm kind of having kind of even with Mahomes. I like McCaffrey, too. But I'm probably going to go Josh Allen.
Yeah, what's nice about going Josh Allen is after you get him, you don't really have to worry about quarterbacks anymore because you're probably not going to get another quarterback besides Josh Allen, especially with them playing in week 1. So you kind of just get Josh Allen, then you go ahead and just rest for the rest of the quarterbacks and load up on your other positions.
Yeah, right now the top 10, it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Austin Eckler and then Justin Jefferson. So a lot of different strategies with this. It's a little different than the other leagues, and it's a draft. I know a lot of people love to do drafts, so they're going off all the time, and we have different price points too. So you can get in anywhere from $20 to $500, and you can do that. Just go to rtsports.com, click on the Money League link at the top of the page. You can see all the different draft times we have as well. So that's the overtime league. So that's a draft, 14 players, 8 starters. So that's that format. And our last one now, Logan, that's the playoff challenge. So this is not a draft. You pick your roster before it starts, and you're stuck with that roster for the entire playoffs. And it is 14 players, similar to last one, 8 starters, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex, a defense, and a kicker. So what's kind of the strategy with this one, in your opinion?
Yeah, for this one, basically what I'm doing is I'm loading up on 2 teams within the same conference. I want to have my entire roster full heading into the Super Bowl. So what I did, if you want to go ahead and show my team, is I matched up with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to be playing Josh Allen week 1. My thought process is at least one of the Chiefs or the Bills will be making that Super Bowl. So my QB slot would be full. If another team makes it besides those 2, then I'm going to be done, not going to cash. But as long as the Chiefs or the Bills make that Super Bowl, my roster is going to be pretty set for that Super Bowl. You want to have a very full roster. In the past, we've seen lots of users go without a kicker or a defense. That strategy has been used, but I have not seen it work out for a lot of teams. You need those points as well. So I've got also Tyler Bass and Butker along with a defense with that team as well. So I'm banking on Chiefs or Bills coming out of that. And then I also got some 49ers as well. So if the Chiefs or Bills make it to the Super Bowl along with the 49ers, my entire roster is going to be full and should cash in those leagues. So I'm excited about that. My entire roster goes my starting roster for the week 1 will go Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Debo, Tyler Bass, and the Bills defense. So a lot of playmakers on that week 1 roster, as along with the possibility of having an entire full roster during that Super Bowl week.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. That's what I've done in the past, is kind of taken the 2 teams I think are going to go to the championship game, either AFC, NFC, loaded up there. I think the AFC has more potential for points, so I kind of lean that way. Our rosters are actually really similar, at least our starters are.
Mm-hmm.
I have Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs. I have Jamar Chase. I like their matchup this week, and I think they'll win that game in advance. And I think he could produce big for a couple games, so that's why I went him. Tyler Bass, San Francisco 49ers defense. Then my bench, Jalen Hurts, Jerick McKinnon, Miles Sanders, Brandon Ayuk, Devonta Smith, Travis Kelce. Again, I think you got to take some chances. So that's why I took Ayuk. I think that kind of differentiates me a little bit from other teams. Devonta Smith, the same way. Ayuk's really played well down the stretch, kind of been the favorite target of Brock Purdy outside George Kittle. That's another guy I consider with George Kittle, but I just thought Ayuk was kind of going to differentiate me a little bit from the other teams. And then Devonta Smith, too, same feeling. And Travis Kelce, I just think he's has too high of a ceiling, in my opinion, not to own. So that's why I went his way. So, again, different strategies. You can do different things, different strategies. Won in the past as well, but it's a lot of fun. It's a different contest. It's different than what you do during the regular season. So I highly encourage people to check these out. Again, playoff challenge is similar to overtime, different price points too. You can get anywhere from $20 to $500 a team, any sort of league, and any sort of league at those price points. So all different times going off as well for these playoff challenges too. A lot of fun, a great game, right?
For sure. There's so much strategy involved, which I absolutely love about these contests. I love strategy games. So I'm really looking forward to these in the playoffs. And these leagues are filling up so fast constantly. Whenever these playoff challenges leagues fill, another one will automatically go ahead and go up. And then we also have draft times all throughout the day for those overtime. Postseason shootout is the top of the lobby, and that should sell out by Saturday.
So with all that said, you can create a league as well. We have playoff commissioner service. You can create them like this. You can do them all sorts of different ways. You can do a draft yourself. You can do not a draft and limit the number of teams. You can do anything. And so if you like these formats, you want to invite your friends, do your league on your own, and come up with your different prizes and whatever you want to do, you can create your own league as well. We have a playoff commissioner service. So don't forget about that too. So it's just under that football link at the top of the page, there's a little playoff commissioner service button, and you can click on that and create your league and do anything you like there too. You can create your own league any way that you see fits. What's your favorite format in your opinion if you're creating a league with your friends?
I think I would like the draft format just because I like the drafting aspect of fantasy sports. I think for strategy, I do like picking your own roster. That way you can kind of control your fate more rather than leave it up to luck based on your draft position. So if I'm looking to win money, I'm probably going to be picking my own roster. But for the fun aspect of it, I'm looking to draft.
Yeah, drafts are always more fun. I kind of like just for the playoffs, I kind of like doing it to where you can pick your own roster before it and see how it plays out. We have a league that we do with all of our coworkers every year. I always think it's a lot of fun and get our family members involved as well. And I think it's just a lot of fun in a different format. So that's kind of the way I lean personally when I'm doing these contests.
Totally agree. Yep.
Yeah. So again, 3 different ones you can do on our site. We have DFS stuff going on as well, and we have we've
got Pick'em also up in that daily lobby.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I was trying to get.
Last week was probably our most popular week for Pick'em. Tons of props, also tons of winners last week. Several $1,000 winners.
Nice.
Congrats to all those users that ended up cashing 5 for 5 on those picks. And then wildcard weekend, all those GPPs and contests are up in that daily lobby currently.
Yeah, awesome. So again, postseason shootout, overtime playoff challenge, DFS stuff, and our pick'em contest as well, or play of commissioner service. So all sorts of stuff you can do on our site right now at RealTime Fantasy Sports, RTSports.com, and click on those money league links at the top of the page. See everything we have to offer. A lot of fun. You have a lot of time still to do it. It's just Tuesday. Games start Saturday, so you have some time to get in contests before then, definitely. All right, Logan, appreciate you joining me. A lot of fun talking about this with you. Before I let you go, Super Bowl pick. What's your Super Bowl pick before we get out of here? Who do you like?
I'm going to go Niners over Bills. There's just something I really like about the Niners, and they've won 10 straight games. They haven't lost since McCaffrey's come. Brock Purdy's looks pretty solid overall. So I'm going to go Niners over Bills. What about you?
I like the Bills over the Eagles. Again, I know the Eagles #1 seed. That NFC, I don't know what to think about the NFC. It's just a tough conference for me to figure out this year. I like the 49ers, but I just worry about that rookie QB starting. I'm thinking he might have to make some big plays along the way. And just not sure.
What concerns me in the AFC is there's 3 teams I personally think can easily win that. You got Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, and then you also, you throw in the Chargers in there as well. Any of those teams can win the AFC. So the Chiefs are very good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I like the Chargers too. If it wasn't for their coaching situation, I just don't trust Staley. He's done some bonehead things in games, but that roster is really good. They kind of remind me of the Bengals last year. They made that run.
Yeah,
the Bengals kind of came out of nowhere. No one thought they were going to do it this year. Still a few years away, but like you said, the AFC definitely has some super talent over there. So it's a tough one. Should be a lot of fun to watch. And good luck to everybody who gets in these playoff contests. Hope you have a lot of success in these great contests here at RealTime Fantasy Sports. Thanks again, Logan, for joining me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jeff.
This has been Jeff Paur with RealTime Fantasy Sports.
And this has been Logan Glaser from RealTime Fantasy Sports.
Have a great day, everyone.